Okay, 1532, good luck. Also, we have actually played before. Let's play the normal carrot. It could have been in any time control at the previous game that we played. If you hover over somebody, see your score. If you click on it, it'll bring the games up that you've actually played. Okay, go c4. Let's still play d5. Knight up. I don't think that's a standard move. I'm trying to remember what to do. Do I push up here? I don't want to completely clog it down though. Take something. I can obviously push a pawn. Yeah, I'll just go e6. I don't remember there, so I'll just go e6. Something I should look at, of course. I'll check after the game. So he's happy to play an endgame, which should be alright for us. Okay, I'll do that. We're going to play an endgame for this one. Oh, he doesn't take. What the heck? Okay, I'll take a pawn then. Yeah. So bishop up looks like a nice development move here. An option to trade. If his bishop moves anywhere, we can still trade the queen, but we've gained a free pawn. So we're just going to develop and pin the knight, but just with a development move. Now my knight's got two options here. Doesn't matter where I go. I think f6 is a natural square, but it might walk into a nasty pin idea. Yeah, let's go to e7. Just means my bishop, it's a little bit more difficult to retreat. But we'll just castle. Yeah, the way he played the opening pawn sacrifice, he played it very quickly, didn't he? So I could be walking into some prep here. Could be. Otherwise, pawn up and get the bishop up somewhere, challenge this bishop, or get on a nice diagonal if we can. Trying to collapse our defences. Pawn up, I'm assuming he's going to go f4 at some point, even though he's castled. So I'm looking at whether to play pawn up to challenge the centre and maybe develop the bishop along this diagonal instead. So it's going to be either this one or this one, the moves I'm considering, obviously depending on what white does. Oh, he's challenged my bishop, so we could give up the bishop pair and bring his knight across. We can drop back, invite a pawn forward. So here, pawn forward. Maybe just simply back, then it stops my pawn push, doesn't it? But it's as good as anything, I think. I'm just going to drop the bishop back. It stops f4 in a hurry. So if I come back here, it stops my pawn push, but it equally stops f4. So e5 might be a little bit easier to play. I'm assuming he's going to play b4. And then I've got a decision to make. Probably bishop back over. But then there's that little bit awkward problem with the bishop coming down. So he's played h3. So he wants to, yeah, he's definitely going to try and launch this side. That's why he's played that. So do I go here? I think I will, because then when he comes forward, I've got the option to take. But he's trying to play that really quickly, isn't he? He's trying to play f4 next. Yeah, we might have walked into some sort of prep this game. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? A little bit odd. I'm going to play here after all, then. If he comes forward, I'll just drop back. Otherwise, I'm going to try and challenge his bishop. I'm going to just take that pawn. Okay, he's gone with the knight now. So I think I've got bishop up here. If he moves anywhere, I can trade the queen. And if he takes my bishop, I can take the queen. He takes back. I then take back with the knight. And I'm slightly offside, but I've taken a lot of pressure off. Knight across could be a perfectly good move to challenge this knight as well. Gives my bishop a retreat square, doesn't it? Actually, it's a nice move, that I think. I'm going to play knight across. If he takes, I'll probably take in towards the centre, but let's just see what he does. He might want me to take, or he does. He does take, he doesn't want me to take him. So bishop down now is not a move, this move. So we might get a chance to counterpunch with queen up and come in if his rook wanders off. So he's broken that file now. I still like the idea of bishop up to challenge his bishop here. My bishop here is now guarded, and I don't see anything better, so I'm going to play it and try and get that dangerous bishop off the board. And then I'll just drop the knight back to c7 to e6, that sort of plan. So something like this. Again, that pawn could be a little bit annoying as well. So he's come down. So here, either rook across, queen up, looks fine. I don't see anything else, so I'm just going to drop back and try and put the knight in the middle of the board. So I'll get the queen out of the way. Oh. There's no need to really pre-move because it's a rapid game, but if he takes, I'm going to take back, so it's a safe pre-move. Otherwise, knight e6 is likely my next move, just to challenge that bishop and put the knight right on a nice central square. Oh, he's launched forward, so have I got my bishop trapped here? I might have got the bishop trapped here, not paying attention. So knight up, I have, haven't I? I've thrown this one. Yeah, I've had a suspicious player earlier on. I shouldn't have played. I had a suspicious player earlier on. I should have just stopped playing after that. So let's take... This game is obviously over now. There's nothing I can do here. Let's take... I'll just have to play this quickly and try and flag him, but it should be hopeless. It should be hopeless, this. Yeah, well, I've actually had 2 suspicious players earlier on. I probably shouldn't say that really, but there have been a couple of them. So what do we do now? I like the idea of rook across and trade one set of rooks, and then he's got a little bit less ammo there. It's a little bit less me to counter punch with. But it makes it more chance that I've got to try and swindle him if he's got 1 rook instead of 2, even though I've got less pieces to attack with as well, 2 against 3. But we have got 2 pawns. If we could keep the pawns, you know, there's an outside chance, but it's a slim chance. Opponent should be strong enough to convert here, should be, but let's just see. Yeah, he's played the rook back. Okay, so queen up is a nice centralized move, preparing a pawn push. Right now it's a nice square though. But here, what does he do? He'd have queen across here, but then if I take... he doesn't have queen across actually, does he? Because the knight would hang. So queen up, the nice natural move. I'm going to play it. I don't see anything better. If he takes my rook again, I'll take back mine. There's no need to pre-move, is it? Because it's rapid, but you'd say opponent's got bags of time here. Just needs to hold his nerve and convert himself a good win. Queen up could be a sensible move, and then it would kind of force a trade, but I might be able to swindle a pawn. Oh, he's just blundered his queen. I don't believe it. He just blundered his queen, hasn't he? Or can he block with the rook? No, I still take the queen. He's just blundered it. That's kind of why you play on when you know you've blundered and you've messed up, but you just never know. So he's hung his queen, unfortunately. If he blocks with a rook, I can still take his queen. His rook can take back, but we can still take the queen, and obviously he can't take our queen because he'd be pinned. He's so unfortunate. So unfortunate. So he stepped out of the way. So I think the idea here is I just take, and then we're an exchange up. He's found a good move there, actually. Found a good move. If I take the queen, he does take my queen. So we take the rook, and then we take back next move. So now we're suddenly an exchange and 2 pawns up. An exchange and 2 pawns. So I guess rook down here just to hit everything. Looks sensible. Where we are now, we keep his king bogged down, but it looks nice just to hit everything. Okay, he's played forward. You've got to use your time. Try not to play it too quickly. Slow down your time. He's going to be a bit upset like I was when I'd messed up and not paying attention. But yeah, I shouldn't have played the game really, having had some dodgy opponents. I should have just immediately stopped. So if I take here, I don't see any knockout. He's got knight here creating a back rank mate threat, but I've got a rook defending. And of course here, I guess I can just take the pawn as well. So he's played here. So I think I can just take a pawn here. And then hit another one. Say he takes, he will collect his final pawn. You know, we just have to be sensible and not blunder it horribly. So what do we do? Even if we give up an exchange now, it's all good, isn't it? We've got so many pawns. So the knight can't attack either rook or the king on the next move if the knight moves. So if we can just give up the rook for the knight, we've got 5 free pawns, so that makes a good trade. You don't have to, it just makes a good trade, and it removes a lot of risk. We might be able to get our other rook forward and go after a checkmate, but again, it just creates that little element of back rank mate threats. So he's played the knight over. Now if we go here, that would actually blunder, but we could take. It's the same sort of result though, isn't it? I think we just push our pawn on here. This pawn is loose. Here. I can't guard everything. I can't guard the whole entire lot. So this rook up a move, a rook down a move. If he gets his knight here, then it's a little bit of a threat, Yeah, I'm just going to push this pawn and try and march a pawn down the board. Takes is a move. Excuse me. I've just got to figure out how to swap either piece for either piece, and then we're much better in winning. Like knight g4 is a good square because it stops my king escaping, so there's a back rank mate threat which you can blunder. So that's a nice optimal square, but whether it works in this move or not, we'll find out. I guess I would just play rook back and attack the knight. So he's played rook down, so do I go here now and allow a check? Can I just pin the knight now again? He throws a check in and he discovers I'm a rook, but I can just take him back. So it might be a good move just to go here and force one of the pieces off. Then it's got to be winning. So here, if he checks, I can take back either way. He takes my rook back, but it's just cleanly winning, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's the cleanest way to convert and remove that little bit of risk. So a knight check, I can take either way here. I could undouble my pawns, and I've got rook to f7 to guard the other pawns. Or I could just take with a rook and leave the pawns as they are, but undoubling the pawns I think makes good sense. And after he takes my rook, I've got rook f7. Oh, he doesn't see that. Okay. I'm just going to take then, like I say, it removes all the risk, or it should remove all the risk. Now I'm just going to get behind my pawn and just run it up the board here. He can try and come forward, but we can always jump up to guard. I'm just going to run this key pawn up the board. Okay, so we just need to get a queen now. Just move our rook all the way out the way so there's no slips. It could happen, of course. You could still mouse slip. Okay, but we get a win. So let's see what it was in engine speak. We made a right mess of the opening, didn't we? We made a right mess of the opening. Where am I? 43 moves there. The move times for both players. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I've had a couple of dodgy opponents already this morning, if I put it politely. So I shouldn't really have played the game, but I did. So how bad was it when I messed up? I did get 2 pawns for the piece, didn't I? So I did have 2 pawns, but here it was, yeah. So move 17 to 23, I was worse. Otherwise, I was better for the rest of the game. 90% versus 78 on the accuracy. But yeah, it was a case of not paying attention, really. But very attacking opening from our opponent here. Yeah, I should have played pawn up. Should have played pawn up and knight back. You can even maybe push again or just try and get a clamp on. But it does bog down the whole position if you do that. But there, he played this so fast, like he knew what he was doing, like it was prep. Maybe it wasn't. And I'm just trying to expand out. You see, we're slightly better here. So this was all good. This was all fine. We're just coming up to the point now. It comes back on. So I should not have played bishop out wide. I should have actually developed the queen, creating that immediate threat. And I guess you have to break your pawn structure up. So go a little bit more directly to the opponent's king, which I didn't do. And that's where I've blundered horribly here, allowing b4. He's done well to see that. But thankfully, I've managed to get 2 pawns for the piece. Yeah, I should have played pawn forward here instead of the queen up immediately. So that was a mistake. And that's the final time when I'm worse for the game, because he's unfortunately blundered, allowing rook in. He's done well to find a saving move, but we're just +6 better now than we are for the rest of the game. So we've converted it well. So decent technique after that. Picked up all the pawns. In this position, I already know, like I say, he can check and discover our rook, but we're getting rid of the knight, which is all I'm trying to do. So it removes a lot of the risk for us, and then we can just run a pawn down the board and make a new queen. But it wasn't a bad effort, was it? A good effort. On another day, I could have easily lost that one, having messed up. So well done to our opponent there. Well done.